Hello, everyone. Oops. Oh, never mind. Welcome to another art stream. I'm going to be doing some work on some just sketches first. I thought I would just open with this, but I'll be working on some February stuff afterwards. So, yeah. Hang on, get some music going, and then we'll. No. I am looking this up, so next time this won't be done the same way. So the audio will be better next time, I promise. I just kind of made the mistake of putting it to the last minute, so apologies. But I will have it good for next time. Okay. I'm so tired today. It's been an okay week though. Just didn't sleep great. Let's draw some arms to start up. Oops, no. Oh, good. We're doing this again. I didn't check for this either. Yippee! Yay! Yahoo! Yippee! Wahoo! Oh well. Can't win them all. So I've been working on the model, my VTuber model lately, and I'm really excited to say that over the weekend over the week I've been making some really good progress. I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the week, but we'll see. Or at least I'm hoping to finish the live 2D stuff and get to work on VTube Studio. So that'd be cool. Hello! Hope you had a good day. Start off with just drawing some anatomy, and then I was gonna do a few poses. So. But I am excited that Live 2D is starting to make a little more sense. I mean, I'm still no expert, but I did figure out more about how to use the parameters correctly, and the head turn looks really good, and so I just need to get the hair physics done because I got it halfway done, I'd say, which is exciting. And then I'm going to put in the special effects. Like I'm going to have lightning going down my arm. I still need to make a. Maybe I'll work on that today too. I need to make my little. I mean, it won't be hard, but I need to make my little. I haven't made a VTuber version of my little fireball friend here, so maybe I'll do that tonight as well. Because I would hate to lose it, my little buddy. For a little while, I was calling this little critter a wisp, but then I realized that oh, cool! I was just gaming to. I got a Star Sand Island, and I was playing a little bit before my stream, so I don't blame you at all. Like I was having a. That game is really fun. It's a little pricey. I mean, not too pricey for an indie game. I think it's what was it, like $30 for early access, which isn't too bad, but it's really fun. Like the characters are really cool, and the island is just full of fun things to do. Yeah. Yeah, if you need to just lurk for a little when you go game, that's fine. But I love how in Star Sand it's kind of like I forget the name of the game that came out last year, but you can like choose your profession, so you can be a fisherman, you can be an inventor, you can be a farmer, you can raise farm animals. So like you can grow plant crops, or you can raise like cows and sheep and all that stuff. It's been really fun so far. And you can get pets later in the game too, and I'm really excited for that because I'm at least gonna get probably I can't decide, probably a dog, because the dogs are really cute. So from what I've seen. It is. It's really nice. It's like one of those nice chill games that you can just play after a long day at work, and just like plus much kind of like Stardew Island. It has like you can go into caves and like adventure, and like there's boss fights where you can use like you start with a slingshot and you move up to a bow and arrow and stuff like that. But it's not the biggest part of the game. Like it's just a side thing in the game to just add more fun. But really, it's more about like I'm excited about the fishing and the farming, and the inventing is really cool. Like I made a skateboard for my character. And I can do some pretty sick flips with my board. It's like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Yeah, it's been fun. The demo, I think there was a demo for a little bit, but I think they don't have that available anymore because now that they're in early access. But it's been really enjoyable, and the art style is really cool too. kind of funny that all these games have very similar themes of like, you start off. I think in this one it's more like you just remember like, it's not so much that you're working a job that you don't like. It's more like you're kind of tired of living in the city where everything's noisy, so you go back to the countryside where your family used to own your grandfather owned a farm, and like you had good friends back then. So, and then the first person you meet when you get there is your old friend, and it's pretty cool because I was able to make my my character kind of. I mean, my character doesn't have antlers, but he does have the scar over his eye, and his eyes are different colors. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. This is cool. Gonna do some poses now. Kind of cool that kind of like in Coral Island, it's kind of like a tourist kind of area too. So, but like unlike Coral Island, you don't have to work up to meeting tourists. Like the minute you get there, they're starting to visit the island. They're already visiting the island, and like they're super friendly and will like offer you like recipes and sometimes gifts. Like small things like they found a flower or something. It's pretty cool. For early game, it's pretty cool. Like later on, I'm probably gonna be like, enough of the flowers. Like, my inventory's too. I need more space for my inventory. Stop filling it up. But the combat looks kind of like Breath of the kind of almost like Breath of the Wild, or maybe even like Wind Waker from Zelda. So I'm excited. So even the combat's pretty chill. Like it's exciting, but not like you don't feel very stressed. It's not like I'm suddenly like. That would be an interesting farming game if there was a farming game out there that was like where the minute it went into combat it felt like Dark Souls, but this one's much more chilled than that. I wouldn't be surprised if that eventually does come out though. Yeah, same. But thankfully the inventory starts out pretty big in this game. And it even has like because Stardew Valley started with just one bar, but this one starts with two, and you can you also have like a separate area where you store things that you can just put on your farm. Kind of like I made like a forge, a buzzsaw, and like a small furnace, and I didn't have to use up any space from my inventory to make those. So that's nice that when you build things that you're gonna place on your farm, those don't take up spots. So I'm really excited. I'm really happy about that. You're right. This is so cozy. Wait, why is the orchestra picking up? Oh no. Oh. Who put that giant glowing tree in my game? When did this turn into Elden Ring? That would be funny. It's like farming, farming. Oh my gosh, that's a treat. That's a big, dangerous animal. What? But yeah, no, this is much more chill than that, thankfully. Although with since this is such a popular like game genre now, I would not be shocked if there's going to be games like that in the future. Because I saw this one game that was a like last year that was a called We Harvest Shadows, and it's a scary game with farming. Like you're this guy that goes off. He decides to buy a house in the middle of nowhere, and like every day you're just farming, but you have to like be careful because at night scary things happen, and you have to like look at this painting in your house to make sure that your mental health is okay when you go outside. Yeah. Whatever you do, don't anger the old ones. Wait, I'm sorry, what? Oh, don't worry about it. You won't do that. Which old ones? Whoops, sorry, I gotta go home. The wife's making a stew. No. Hold on. Which old ones? Hello? Yeah, it's really interesting though. I definitely recommend looking it up. It looks really good from what I've seen. It's got a really good soundtrack too. Like it's super chilling and kind of sad in parts. But cuz I mean you're there because you're not feeling, your mental health is not very good. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit sad, but the music's really is really nice, and in that the horror game one, and but like the things that happen at night are really spooky. Like there's one where you just look out your window and all of a sudden there's just like someone in your yard and you're like, who is that? Because you don't have neighbors. And it's like, oh, it's one of those games. Okay, good. And then you go down and the person turns like, basically like, it looked like a shadow and then it just like disappears and there's just a crow there and it flies away. And you're like, oh, okay, phew. And then you look behind you and there's a guy peeking from behind a tree and he's like, hey, listen. And then he disappears and I'm just like, game, stop it, I'm scared. And that's just like the first week in that game, yeah. Like in the demo, that's what they show you, so I can't imagine. The game itself is probably going to be much crazier than that even, I bet. Yeah. I'm interested to see what it's like. Plus you get to raise all different kinds of barn animals, and like you can expand your farm and like get cows. Yeah. Who? What? Oh no. So it goes from like the daytime where you're like picking tomatoes, feeding the chickens, look at the cute little chompkins, and then it's like, oh no, it's evening. Oh no, it's night. Oh man, it's too quiet out here. I hate this. I don't hear crickets. This is bad. I hear someone that sounds just like me. That's even worse. Oh no. Help. Yeah, I guess the creator made it because he was kind of going through a rough patch and kind of with his mental health and kind of like remembered a story of a guy who went out to into the wilderness and kind of like just like disappeared for a while until some hikers found the guy like years later, and all the guy said when he ran into the hikers was just like hello, and that was the and then went on his way. That must be really awkward. Must be really weird for them because, like, for all they don't know that he's been missing. Like, it's just like, who's that nice guy? Who cares? I don't know. And it's like, meanwhile, that's the first word he said in like 5 years to another human being. Yeah, I could. I guess he's yeah. The guy was, and the scary thing with him is he was living out in the middle of the wilderness, and he was not set up for it. Like he had like very, I think he had a very simple tent, because like, I mean, I've seen plenty of YouTube channels where there's people who make like makeshift houses in the wilderness, and like they can live out there for the winter and be fine, but he was not set up like that. So it was very dangerous. Like he could have froze a few times. Some of the nights were really cold. So yeah, I would never want to do that. I listened to too many like podcasts about like animals in the wild. That I would be like, no, that's okay. It's like I know what kind of animals are in that area. No, I'm good. I'm gonna leave them alone. They'll leave me alone. It's like, yeah, that's definitely a wolf area, and there's not much for them to hunt out there. So I don't want to be the thing that they hunt. Although wolves are probably are usually one of the lesser things to be worried about because usually they're pretty skittish of people. I mean, unless they are really starving, but they're pretty good hunters, so that's pretty rare. And I did see a cool thing about them where they hunt with they team up with crows sometimes. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos where like the crows will fly overhead and make noises, and the wolves will listen carefully, and the crows will signal when there's something to eat. It's pretty cool. But in this game, I wonder if in this game there's going to be any fantasy pets I can get, because there are monsters. So I'm wondering if that means later on they're going to add in pets that are like fantasy creatures, like I can get a pet dragon or a pet T-Rex or both. Do, 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 do. I know in that scary game you probably don't get any pets. Because that would probably take away from the scariness if you could have like a pet dog or something that would keep all the bad things away. I would, yeah, that's what I would do in one of those games. If that were real, I would just be like, oh, okay, this place is clearly haunted, so I'm gonna get the biggest dog I can afford, like those what are those? A wolf dog. Just get a wolf dog, or like one of those I forget what they're called, but they look like a bear. There's this one dog that's like the size of a bear, and I'd be like, you guard the house. I feel safe with you. It's like the ghosts can make all the noise they want because you're here with me to keep me safe. And then I mod in the T-Rex, and then I'm definitely safe. Yeah, Tiberian Mastiffs, that's right. That sounds right, yeah. They're quite large. Although I'm always nervous with bigger dogs like that, how long... Like, the bigger a dog is, obviously, it's going to affect their lifespan, too. But... So I wonder how long they live. Because I did have a friend who had a St. Bernard. Right? Yeah, two of them. There you go. You could be like... Yeah. Just had them on each side of your... Just sit in the middle of the room with one on each side of you. And you know what? Since they probably wouldn't let me go crazy with the mods, I would just try and get something that would allow me to dress them up, so they would look scarier even than they are. But they'd be wearing like cosplay battle armor that made them looked like real metal. Like they're just running around in like what looks like full plate mail. Let's do a few more poses, then I'll get to work. This one's good. I don't usually draw. Oops, it's fine. Yeah, I don't like that one actually. Do 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 do. Yeah. It is a shame you can't get dogs, because later on I know you can get when you extend your farm, you yeah, exactly. It I know you can expand your farm later on, and it would be nice to have some like border collies, because those, I don't think any ghost would want to be around them. They're them or huskies. Like, could you imagine like a ghost trying to haunt a house with huskies? That would quickly like turn the other way very quick. The ghost would be like, "Fine, leave me alone." Yeesh, so noisy. It's like, "Fine, I'll feed you." Doggy want walkies. Ghosts are like, "You're on your own." It's like I need to sleep. And like, I'm not even alive anymore. I need to sleep. And these things are keeping me up. You get noise complaints from your ghost neighbors. Your huskies are keeping us awake at night. Get passive aggressive notes from the ghost in the morning. I had a very important meeting today and I did not sleep well. Please remember to feed your dogs and take them outside. Yeesh. It's not even paying for the it's not even paying the mortgage. What's wrong? Yeah, I love it. They are adorable creatures, but then they go. "Arr." I saw those funny ones of the people at like pet stores, the groomers at pet stores that have to like um take care of their fur when in the to like group and like the minute they start to shave off some of their fur, it's like, no, it wasn't even that. They were just washing them, and it's like, well, I'm boiling this dog alive because it starts to like scream. It starts in that like scream yelp, and it's like, it's just cold water, puppy. Chill. Or there's that one funny video of the two huskies and the one golden retriever, and he just like the golden retriever just like looks at the owner who's filming everything and is like, "What's wrong with my sister? What's wrong with my family? Why are they all so noisy?" It's like, me too. My friend had a husky, and it's a fun dog to visit, but I don't think I could own one. But if I had enough land for them, or if I had like my friend ran 8 miles with his dog every day, so that worked out okay. But even then, he said that pup was still crazy. Even running it that far, it still was like, "I'm full of energy." It's like, really? It's like, you did that and it still was a Looney Tune? It's like, I don't know what I would do. like it's like 8 miles, that's nothing for us. We're made to go much further than that. They're very pretty dogs though. So are like Irish setters are really nice dogs. I remember my grandparents had one. That was a nice dog too. I don't remember that one being. I don't think Irish setters were that loud, if I remember right. It was so long ago. I don't really remember, but yeah, huskies have beautiful. Their eyes are amazing. They have those like funny like fur patches over their eyes, so it looks like they have eyebrows at all times. Like that, eh? And I think once I used to think I was like, I had that like I really didn't like small dogs, and then my sister started doing like fostering dogs, and I realized that it's really about personalities. I think sometimes smaller dogs can just be a little bit more like yippy and yappy, but it's not all the time. So you can there. She had several small dogs that I actually did like, but I prefer medium sized dogs. But small ones are fine. I understand why some people want that, especially if they're like me and have like if you live in an apartment, it's like a large dog would be a lot. But there's like some like you can always get a mix with huskies too if you wanted like some traits of a husky. I found I think of the smaller breeds, I think well it's hard to say. Like my friend had a dachshund, and those are funny. They're like little they're the little like little guys. They have like the tiny little feet and the long body. They're like bred for hunting like what is it my brain's forgetting what they're was it like groundhogs and stuff like that. Like yeah, like burrowing kind of animals, because like their whole body is like really compact and tough, so they can go down into badgers. They're made for hunting badgers because because even though badgers can be pretty tough, dachshunds are like built like tanks in the front. So the only problem with them is that they get back problems later on. Like, but I think that happens with a lot of small dogs. And there might be, I think if you just like try to make it so they don't jump everywhere, like if you make like ramps all over the house to get up on the couches and things, that might help. But I forget some stuff like that. I think is what I remember. But okay, that's good. Let's work on starting a new prompt. What's today's prompt? Oh, I have to do. Cold. Days. So, I guess that's. Let's check the other list before we do that. Moss Imp. That might be fun. bum 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 bum. Moss imps. Let's look. Ooh, I need to look at the lore. Okay, Moss imp. Excuse me, sorry. Imps. Not limited to... Okay, there. Show up in a bunch of... Oh, okay, yeah, because imps were originally kind of like they're mischievous. They're not really dangerous, which sounds a lot like a Seelie fairy, where it's like they're troublemakers, but they're not really. They don't really want to hurt you. They just want to like pester you. Like maybe like hide things, not even steal, but just like purposely make it so you misplace things. Yeah, pranks. Let's see, imps versus goblins and elves. Let's see. Yeah, they're usually associated with demons, but they're not demons themselves. They sometimes are like servants that are just sent to do annoying things. so, so if you misplaced your keys or something like that, it might be an imp. And they're very weak. Like they don't want to even show themselves usually because they probably a regular human could probably like defeat one. They're tiny little things. Okay, well that was one thing's basic. So a moss imp would probably be just like something that a type of like wild one that just kind of like purposely like keeps messing with your sense of direction probably. Whoops. I'm gonna make him like have a big big tubby body and little horns, and he's covered in moss. Like he's made out of. This one's gonna be almost like a goblin kind of, but like. Do they have wings all the time, or do they just sometimes have wings? I guess they do. Yeah. I'll make it so his mouth is really small. Maybe it's a little flower in his head. Boop. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, they're kind of just like meddlesome little creatures that just like to mess with people's day and stuff like that. They're not nearly as dangerous as demons. Boop, boop, doop, boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna have him kicking his friend into the water. Like they're not even nice to each other. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Yeah. It's like there's. Wow, look at that thing over there. Wow. Where? Right over there. I don't see it. Keep looking. Yeah, I like this because I wouldn't want them to be pestering actual like other animals, even though I'm sure that something like this would probably do that. But I'd rather have them just being. They're so insufferable that when no one's around, they're just mean to each other. It's like a little puddle of mud that just pushed his friend into, like. Do, 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 do. There we go. I like this. I kind of like this build where it's kind of got like this like weird, like lanky kind of build. Kind of like Smeagol, kind of. Like, but smaller, obviously. Much smaller. If I wanted to make him really mean, he'd be kicking him into the mouth of a fish, but I won't make him that evil. At least not in this drawing. Do 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 do. I guess an author I really like confirmed he's moving forward with his making his book into a TV show. Brandon Sanderson, he's making Mistborn into a series. So hopefully it's good. I mean, if it's, I still need to read the second and third books, so I'm gonna wait until I get those done before I even try and watch. I mean, the show's still in production, so I got some time. But considering he's really gonna get involved in it, I think that's a good sign. I hope. Kind of like, I'm hoping it's kind of like with One Piece with Oda, where Oda pretty much just like stays on site and like makes sure that the live action is accurate to the manga and the show. And I haven't watched it, but I've seen like the character designs for the live action, and it looks really good. Like every time I see a character in that show, I'm like, yeah, right. Well, like the first time around with His Dark Materials, back when they called it Golden Compass, that first version was really bad. And I say that mainly because like it had like A-star team of actors, and they found a way to make it bad. It's like you have like what was it? It was like Daniel Craig. You had oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name right now, but he's done a lot of like westerns, and he was this cool character from the book, and you had a really good voice actor for the polar bear character, and the actress who played the mother was really good. So it was just really shocking when it wasn't good. But His Dark Materials, from the little bit that I've watched, was actually pretty good. Because like they got the actor who played Xavier in X-Men First Class. I forget his name, but they had him play the father. Because that was the problem with the Golden Compass version. One of the parts that once I got around to reading the book, I realized like he's a horrible person, and like the movie Golden Compass does not show that at all. Like in Golden Compass, like in the beginning, he's kind of just a whimsical father who's kind of like kind of a quiet inventor, and just wants to do his work, but he knows that he has enemies. Whereas in the actual book, he's quite horrible from the very beginning. And like the Terry Pratchett's books were made into pretty good movies. Like Hogfather is really funny. If you haven't seen that one, that's really good. It's like it's basically Death trying to save Christmas. Because their version of Santa Claus is on a hit list. And the hitman's name is I think it was like Mr. Tea Time or something like that. Or like it was pronounced like that. It was, I forget there was something funny about like how it was pronounced, that people always called him that, and I don't remember if that was actually his name, but he kind of just gave up because people just kept pronouncing it that way. And he was a really creepy looking guy. think he had like really dark eyes or something. I forget. It's been a while. But yeah, it was fun. And Death's daughter is she's really funny. Like there's an entire part at the beginning of the movie where she's taking care of this family's kid, and like the kid says there's a monster in the other room, and like she goes in with a shovel and is like, I'll take care of it. And the parents are like, wow, she's so smart. I can't believe that she really is just like entertains their imagination to help them sleep. And it turns out that there really was a monster, and she just goes, drags the bag outside the house and is like, and you better not come back. It's so funny. Because there's been other things like Stardust by Neil Gaiman was kind of it was okay, because to be fair, the book doesn't make a good movie. It's a good book. And that's kind of the problem too, you know, with some of these stories. Like, you get the pacing makes sense for a book, but once you try and make it into a movie, it like goes nowhere. And same with comics. Like everyone gave Watchmen a hard time because, I mean, they really worked hard to try to make Watchmen exactly like the comic, but the problem is the pacing in the comic works for the comic. It does not work for a movie. I love these big derpy fish eyes. I'm gonna give these guys. They have like not even pointy horns, just more like nubs for horns. And that's why this one's in trouble, because underwater, under the puddle, its head's stuck in the ground. Yeah, bang. Yeah, right? The problem is, like, there's certain things where, like, you always imagine something's much bigger than it's going to be when the creators make it, because, like, even if they have a lot of money for their movie or their TV show, it's never going to live up to what you imagined. It's kind of funny though that like one of my like Studio Ghibli, like so many of his stories are adaptions or reimaginings of English authors because he's such a big fan. Yeah, right. Like, derp, I'm a bad guy. But yeah, like Studio Ghibli films like House Moving Castle was based off a English author. So was I think um trying to think which other ones are. Secret of Ariadne is based around an English folktale about the Lilliputians, they're called. They're like little folk that live in houses. And what were some other ones? Like, so many of them are like, because a couple of them are based around like Japanese folklore, like the My Neighbor Totoro, and what was the other one? Oh, and Porco, right? The one about the tanuki, yeah. Which was one of the few that I never saw, but I heard was funny, but I just never got around to watching it. But yeah, this is really messy. I'm gonna clean this up. And I mean, like, one of my favorites was early on was Princess Mononoke, and that because that one was really good. But that's an original story, I believe. Probably based around different folk tales, but are there any books that you think you'd like to see someone try? Because I used to say that there were certain books that I wanted to see, but then things like The Witcher happened, and now I'm nervous about anything that I liked. Because I used to be like, oh, this book would be so cool, or something like that, or like what was one that I read recently? Well, like Tales of Earthsea is a really cool like young adult fantasy, but the problem is I've never seen someone do it right. Like every time, even Studio Ghibli, when Goro Miyazaki tried to do it, it kind of came out a little bit convoluted. It didn't really it was very weird. The pacing wasn't great. But I heard that there were like production issues too, so it's hard. It was kind of one of those stories where like he was kind of in trouble from the very beginning, like because it was just kind of difficult to fit all everything they wanted to fit into the lore. Because it's several books, so they tried to make I think they tried to put like 2 or 3 books in one movie. Okay. Wings of Fire, interesting. One that I might be interested if like an animation studio did it, or like an indie studio, or not someone in the mainstream, would be what was it called? Let me see if I can look it up. It's like there's this series that I started to read. Oh, I'm blanking on it right now. Darn, sorry. It was just in my head a second ago and then it disappeared. But it's essentially this book about this it's like Shades of Magic. That's what it was called. Yeah. It's about a this guy jumps between dimensions. There's technically there's 4 dimensions, but the book only talks about 3 because the 4th one is blocked off. The black dimension is like no one's been able to go there forever. And the story starts with a strange object appears that is from there, and a lot of people are. I mean, they have to try and hide the fact that they even have it, because they shouldn't. And then but there's this girl that's from the gray dimension, and that's kind of like our version, where like it's like the closest to ours, where like there's no magic. It's just a like dreary place where like non-magics live. But I mean, they know that there are magical people out there that can visit from other dimensions, but they can't cast magic themselves. Warriors, interesting. But the problem I would see happening is, I unless it was a smaller studio, I wouldn't trust them with the picking the right person to play the girl, because I'd be worried that they would get someone. Although I don't know, because it depends, because like because the when they did that TV show version of what was it called? His Dark Materials, like they found a pretty good actress for the girl in that. So as long as it was like a show, I would trust it a little bit more. But if it was a movie, I would be certain they would just get some like modern, like up and coming, like big name young actress, and I don't know. I wouldn't trust them. I'm not honestly. I don't even know who they would use for if it was like a big, like a child actor from here, because I think getting an English like an English actor would be the best, probably, because that's what she's supposed to be. But it's it'd be fun to see Cartoon Saloon do a children's book, because I know they did that kids show Puffin Rock, which was like, I think it was on like Amazon or something, and it was just like those little birds, and it was just like a cute story for kids. And I just really like their art style. Like when because like Wolf Children was really good. I just wish it wasn't just like, it's a shame that they only had it on I mean, that's gonna be the case with this one Sanderson thing too. It's where it was only on Apple TV, because it was really good. Wolf Children had a really fun story, and some really good voice actors from Ireland and Scotland, I think. Yeah. Better be careful with that. But yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely cases where like you just never know with certain actors how. It is interesting though how sometimes and I mean, like I was saying with Ghibli, or it's almost better sometimes when a director purposely just makes the story different and doesn't try and copy the story. But it depends. It has to be a really good director. Like Magician Magicians was an interesting story, I thought, with Quentin and all those characters, and it was really dark because it dealt with like mental health. It dealt with like how magic could be used irresponsibly and how dangerous that could be. And the book and the two books and the TV show were very different from each other for multiple reasons, and I don't want to spoil one of the biggest reasons, but there's a lot of reasons why they're different. But I liked how different, like even the villain in Magicians was different from the book to the series. Because in the series, the Beast was much more like elegant and much more like they got a really good. I like the actor they had playing him because he was pretty creepy. But in the movie, I mean, in the book, he seemed much more clearly like, even within the story, kind of a background problem that was kind of like lurking in the shadows. Which I guess he kind of was in the series, but there was always other issues too in the series, other than just him, because they were terrible working together too in the series. Which, because like certain characters like Penny was so much different in the book. Like, I think he was like more of like a punk rock kind of guy, punk rock nerd kind of guy in the book, and Quentin didn't like him because he was really good at magic and because he was a nerd. Whereas in the TV show, he's kind of just a jerk to Quentin, and like is smarter than him in some ways, but also is like has his own problems, which I thought made him interesting in a different way. Like, he's definitely flawed. He's very angry all the time, which does not make him very likable to certain people. But the funny thing is, like, you still root for him even though he's a jerk. He's like the Constantine of their group, kind of, where you're like, wow, you're not likable at all, but I don't want anything bad to happen to you either. Oh, did you hear that Keanu Reeves wants to do another Constantine movie? Which, if anyone else said they wanted to do that movie, I'd say I would be really upset. But I mean, I just really like him as an actor, so I say let him do it. And to be fair, even though he doesn't fit the character, like, because he's, not a British guy, he still got the personality down pretty close, with the exception of a few small things. I mean, small but major things. Like, he quit smoking at the end of the last movie, whereas Constantine didn't. At the end of that comic, Constantine just like flips off the reader and basically says is like, haha, I tricked the devil. Mwah. Plus, there wasn't a love story in that comic, whereas they added in a love story with the psychic twin, which I thought was okay. It wasn't. They got a pretty good actress for that character, and she was a fun, like, fish out of water kind of character. Like, she was just a cop that, like, yeah, Yeah, he's a very chill and fun person. So I'll watch it just because it's him. Like if anyone else was involved, that was like him and Henry Cavill are are two people that where I if they're involved in something, I trust them to like put themselves into it and make it really fun. Which is why when Henry Cavill walked away from Witcher, I was like, well, I'm done with this show. Because if he doesn't like it, then that's a bad sign. But, like, yeah. If he likes it, then it's. I think that's a good. If he likes the script enough to come back to it, I think that's a good sign. Because he wouldn't come back unless he felt like the story was good. And I think the other thing that helps it is that he's doing like the his stories are more the graphic novels, so it's not like it's trying to like be like which yeah, it's not trying to be like the actual like comic like canon version of Constantine anyway, because the even within the within those like crazy things happened in those graphic novels, which is why I like them so much. Like one of the animated movies involved I forget that demon that he made the deal with that took the girl. I do wonder if they're going to change that part, because that is kind of an important bit of his lore, and they changed it with Keanu Reeves to be like he's destined to be like to never make it into heaven because of what he because taking his own life, but in the actual comics it was because he kind of like got a girl captured by a monster. So much worse. So I'm wondering if they're going to put that in. But I mean, like I said, since it's probably going to be another one of the graphic novels, I don't think they really have to. That's kind of why I liked reading those back in the day, because people would always, I would see my friends who did read like, and I read a few comics that had like very strict lore, but it was kind of nice once in a while to just read a comic where it's like you don't have to worry about that at all. It's just like it's like here's this character, don't worry about whether or not they're what they were doing last year, because this comic is like is only attached to itself. It's a self-contained story. Like the story that I don't know if you ever read the comic that was based around that last Keanu Reeves movie with Constantine, but it was called Dangerous Habits. It's really good. And I think it was one of the first ones I read from the Constantine series. And pretty fun. Like the way he actually resolves it at the end's very different from the movie, but they got so many good actors for that movie that I didn't really care. It's like fun actors and like a good story. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll let them take some liberties here and there. The only thing I thought was kind of weird was them making Shia LaBeouf into Chaz. Because Chaz is supposed to be like his age. And he's usually a black guy. So I'm like, that's kind of a weird choice, guys. But I suppose whatever. But that's kind of a weird time to not do that. But whatever, I guess. You know, it's like you could have found an English actor who could have done that. But I guess they really wanted Shia LaBeouf so that they would have like. But I don't know what. I guess my bigger question is, why'd they feel they needed him? Because, I mean, Keanu Reeves is such a big actor. It kind of felt like a weird add-on. Like I think he had only. I don't even think he had done. Yeah, he hadn't done. He hadn't even done Transformers yet. So, I was surprised when they put him in that. Because they had that really good actor to play. What's his name? Is it Father? Is it Papa? I think it's Papa Midnight. He's that guy was so good that they. There were several comics where they changed him to look like that character. Which I thought was pretty cool. I'm like, because I thought he did pretty good. I mean, he's definitely not as evil as that actual character in the comics. Because if you've ever seen the TV show Hellblazers, that's pretty much what Papa Midnight is. He's like a crime lord that uses like dark magic. So he's not really a like believer in good and evil. He's kind of like he's using this magic for his own needs. Like he had a fight club with zombies. So he was definitely not a good guy. I wouldn't say he was the worst because I mean, but that's not really like a big, compliment in a world where most of the people that are bad are demons. It's like, well, you're not my worst enemy, but that doesn't mean much. It's like I trust I can turn my back on you. That's about as far as our friendship goes. Yeah. Because in the Hellblazer show, I did like that they Chaz was still not quite the same, but at least he it was interesting how they chose to make him cursed. That was a cool ideal for him because my question with Chaz was always like, how does he survive being Constantine's friend? And their answer was, oh, he's cursed. He just can't die. I'm like, oh, there's your end. Okay, I'll believe that. It's like, guess what? You're immortal, but you're the bad kind of immortal where, like, your friend is, like, a walking disaster and you're constantly put in danger and you feel the pain, but you just don't, pass. Enjoy! Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely watch it pay-per-view, but I wouldn't want to hang out in the club where Papa Midnight has the fights because there's a lot of demons and a lot of other undesirable like monsters there. So I'd be like, oh, I'll just watch from home, okay? How's that sound? Can I just do that? It's like I just don't trust him at all. Because you know who would have been a good version of that actor is I don't know whatever happened with him, but the actor who played Echo in Lost, he would make a good Papa Midnight, because that's pretty much what he looks like. He's that big. He's a really tall dude who's just like really imposing. I mean, the guy they got for Hellblazers was pretty good too, though. Like, he was a pretty big guy too, but not nearly as big as that guy. Make their eyes glow. That's kind of, I kind of like that idea. Even though this is messy, I really like this concept because they're very ugly. I kind of like that, where they're just like these like clumsy, mischievous little pranksters. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah. Trying to think of other ones that would be really good. I'm sure there's just some other children's books that I'm just not thinking of right now, but because usually sometimes those make the best, like young adult books. I know I tried to watch The Seeker with that one actor from Sliders. I forget his name, but it was okay. It just wasn't great. It kind of was a bit dark in spots, and it wasn't really just what I was looking for at the time. But maybe since they never really went on with it, Aragon make it kind of cool. Like if they tried to do that again, because like they made that one movie, but it did not do great, and it kind of was very different from the book, and that's saying something considering like they messed up a book series that was written by a 14-year-old and wrote it more poorly than that. Like the pacing is really bad from what I remember people saying that actually read the book in the movie. Like they kind of like left a lot out and tried to rush in characters, and like at the very, I remember there was like a post-credit scene where kind of like end of the Mario live action movie where like they tried to show the next villain, and I'm like, guys, no one's gonna make another movie. Why are you showing this? It's like guys, this was your one chance. You don't get to make another one if no one wants to watch this. I think one of the better one of the ones that's still timeless to me is Princess Bride. Like that, although that's very different from that has a lot of differences from the book, which is probably why it's so good. Is that they let the movie be its own thing because they knew that they needed to make it feel different. And you just had so many great actors in that. And the amount of improv in that movie is just so much fun. Like everyone just was having so much fun. Like Andre the Giant, I heard like I listened to like interviews on like there's this like podcast about like certain movies and like how like crazy production was, but for that one they said like he was just like a joy to be around. Like he always tried his he because of, I mean, coming from a background as a wrestler, he totally was like one to put in 110% all at all times. Yeah, and it's I love some of the funny little bits of trivia, like how there's a scene where the actress who played the Princess Buttercup was like really hot on set, so he put his hands in ice and just put his entire hand over her face to keep her cool. Because his hands were bigger than her head. I thought that was pretty funny and really nice of him to just like be like, here you go. Something refreshing cool. Your own like personal like cool pack in with his hand. Inconceivable. Why do you keep saying this? I do not think it means what you think it means. Rodents of unusual size. I don't think they exist. Wah! Got some mud on him too. I'm gonna make it so he gets splashed. You just moved your head. That's wonderful. Your brawn, his skill, and my brains are going to have to take on 30 men. And you think a little head jiggle is going to make me excited? Hmm? So many good quotes. I love that movie. The funny thing is, the original book was, I believe, told by like, it was much. I mean, it was closer to the actual time period, or it was I forget when it took actual place. But the point was, it was kind of like this, like it was the same idea, but just like it was someone trying to like tell their, I believe it was their son, a story, but it was like a different context. They also kind of kept making fun of like the storytelling and saying it was very antiquated, but it wasn't obviously Adam Savage playing Nintendo while he was sick. It was like different time period. And speaking of wrestlers, I am a little disappointed that The Rock agreed to be in the Moana live action. When I'm like, really, dude, you just did this. Why are you making it, or why are you agreeing to help them out when you already did it? I will make it just like regular water. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. Part of me almost wished that they had just said no, because like it's way too soon. It just came out. I mean, that movie's not that old. So why would you rush into making another one? And making a live action version of it, which, by the way, won't be live action because, oh yeah, the quote unquote villain is a giant creature, like god creature, that is spreading corruption everywhere. And there's a giant crab creature in the ocean, and there's like other monsters in the ocean that, you know, will be CG. So what are they talking about when they say it's going to be live action? I'm so tired of that being like an excuse for them to make more of these kind of movies. It's like, guys, it's not going to be live action, so why make it? There's so many other stories to like. There's so many Aesop's fables and so many other. I think we've talked about this. We talked about this last time, where it's like there's so many other stories out there that you could do. That like, why choose that? I do like this dingy water kind of look for the dingy mud and water kind of mix. I mean, they still have really old movies that they never tried to remake, like Black Cauldron. If they're going to try to make something live action, why not try that? Because then at least it's like, it would make more sense because it's something that that has like a history to it and they would kind of want to fix. Yeah. Because you know they're not going to like have a boat out in the ocean. They're going to put a boat in on a CG ocean, and they're going to make a character standing on a green screen like fake raft, and it's like, guys, come on. Really? I'd say I'm surprised they haven't made Sword in the Stone into a live action, but there's already been so many other like Merlin stories that I think that's kind of why they didn't do that. Like there's I think there's a show called Pendragon right now, so it's kind of it would be kind of hard for them to try and like play off of that one. There's so many of these that are which that I'm okay with because there are so many Arthurian legends that like I'm okay with a couple different versions of that. Because I mean, there was an entire like podcast I used to listen to about folklore, and there was an entire every once in a while the guy will go into like Arthurian legend, and there's a lot. like Lancelot has like an entire chapter that feels like Dark Souls, and Arthur has several times when he has like moments later on in his life where it's much more like less whimsical and much like a little darker. So definitely be interesting if more people tried to do those. But because most of the time when I see like TV shows do like Arthur Legends, it's either like a comedy like that Arthur show that the BBC did, or it's or it's more like that sci-fi one where with Merlin, where like he was magic was starting to become like a thing of the past, and like it was like the era of man, and like he was trying to like disappear. So it was a bit more somber and melancholy a little bit. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. There. But there's other like heroes in folklore that just have never really been talked about very much. I mean, even in the Greek folk, like Roman folk, like legend and whatnot, like It'd be kind of cool if like this Odyssey movie brings up like maybe a TV show's like side project where like that kind of stuff happens. Because there are so many other stories that they could do. Based on what I've seen of the Odyssey, though, I have mixed feelings. Like, I'm hoping the actors are good in it because the costume kind of makes him look like Batman. I looked at that and I'm like, that looks like the Batman cape from Batman Begins, but with a gladiatorial helmet instead of a cowl. Yeah, I guess Pendragon is Arthurian, but the Odyssey obviously is its own that story. So, but we'll see if it's good. I don't know. I hope it's good for its. I never root against these, because especially when it's clearly just trying to be a story. Like if I can tell it's trying to just be like a PSA and pretending to be a story, then I don't really pay attention to it at all. But when I can tell that the actors are really just trying to like pull themselves into a character, and maybe the studio's style is going to hurt them, but then in that case I kind of still want to root for them because I'm like, that's not their fault. So you know. I did see a kind of a funny. I don't know if this person just doesn't know the Arthurian legend or they were making a joke, but I saw this like person talking about the newest in the Fate Stay series, that anime, and they were saying that they gender bent Arthur to be a guy, and I'm like, so you mean they told the actual story where it's a guy? I'm like, what do you mean they gender bent him? It's always been just a guy. The anime is what changed it. Like, honestly, I would have no problem, even with that. I would never have had a problem with it being a girl, a woman, if it wasn't for how that anime works, which is kind of weird. Because everything else about it, I'm like, okay, fine, fair enough. I don't care. But like how the user makes a pact with her, I'm like, that's really gross. No, I don't want to talk about it. It's just kind of weird. Oops. I want to make like a green instead of a there. And I can kind of like add in some light and stuff and put some. But it's just kind of funny that they were just like Arthur, now a guy. It's like, he always was. It's like, what do you mean? I could never get into the Fate series, for the same reason that I can't get into Attack on Titan, which is that it's too much of a downer, kind of. Like, the animation can look really good, and sometimes I'll try and find like an episode to watch, because like seeing like the seeing two specific characters fight kind of inspires me for like either my comic or like just a drawing. But yeah, I don't think I could be like, I could never watch that thing from beginning to end. Especially not all of them. There's too many different series. Like there's one, because the confusing thing about that anime is like they're all different like different realities or something. I guess I heard. So, yeah, and a lot of them are bummers. So I'm like, it's okay. I've seen enough of that before with like The Promised Neverland, which had a really good first season and then kind of didn't have a very good second season. So they were just like, hey, this has a really cool like The Great Escape for the first season, and I'm like, you have my full attention. And then the second season's like, what if we add in like this other subplot for these characters that you don't know anything about, but you should suddenly care about? And I'm like, you lost my attention. It's like, congratulations, that was a I no longer want to watch this. It is, which is a shame because there's some characters in it I love. Levi is such a fun character. Like he's like a breath of fresh air in that anime, but like he gets like these breaks once in a while too many times since he's not a main character. That like I just couldn't get into it. Plus, I was really worried that something would happen to him because that anime's a bummer. So I was like, if I like him, that means they're going to do something to him. So I'll trick them by not watching this at all, and then nothing will happen. Because that's how it works, right? Yeah, that's the ticket. I'm going to fix this later. I'm going to just stick it. Probably saving this would be good. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah. But I like the colors. I'm definitely gonna add in some more. Yeah, right. And then there they go. Yeah, it's the Game of Thrones rule, where the minute you make a really likable character, people are like, "That's the one that's gonna go, isn't it?" And it's like, oh boy, I don't want them to go. Oops. I did it again. Sorry. I think that's kind of what I loved about Spy Family is that it constantly was like playing with that idea that something might happen, but then it would kind of like pull away and be like, just kidding, and then be like, it's gonna happen this time. Nope, just kidding. It's like okay, I don't think you're gonna do anything, so I'm okay. Oops, I am a normal, was it? Weird. Never mind. Oops. I can play around with this a little bit more. I don't want to rush it though, because I think I'm just worried I'm gonna not give it the attention it deserves here. I am liking this setting though, where it's like this like murky kind of like swamp setting, where these two are just messing around. It's like boink. Be right back. I need to get some water. How are we doing on time? Pretty good. Okay. There is a new anime that's coming out that I'm kind of interested about called Witch Hat Atelier. It's like a the art style looks so good that I picked up the first manga, which I never do, but I was just like, this will be good for reference because it just looked really nice, and like it seems pretty cool. It's all about like their magic is really interesting because it's based all up around writing, and we'll see. It might be kind of a fun like story about like how dangerous magic can be if you don't understand how powerful it can be. Which is kind of what Ancient Magus Bride did too. But I don't think this is going to be as dark as Ancient Magus Bride, because that was so sad at parts. I was just like, I love these characters and I love in this world, but my gosh, this girl just needs a hug. So many days are horrible. But that one definitely, I mean, it helps with the understanding the lore of the show, but I don't entirely endorse like watching the first animated like three-parter for it because it's so sad. It's like, oh man, guys, you really gave her a rough origin story. I know one comic that will never be made into a TV show or movie, and that's I Hate Fairyland, which has another name, but I'm not saying it because I'll get in trouble. But it's done by an artist I really like, Scotty Young. So I definitely recommend checking it out for just for that reason alone. He's such a talented artist. Like he did the Wizard of Oz series for Image Comics, and he's just got such a fun like sketchy art style that he really brought some fun lives to that story. Plus, he went further into like the books and like talking about all the side characters. Like I think there's one like the what was it, the boy and the wooden horse, and like he he talks about a lot of the other witches that obviously they couldn't get into because it's only like it's two movies and no one's really seen the second movie. I mean, I haven't seen the second movie. I just know it's a really crazy movie, but bum 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Now that I think about another really good because it was a comic and a book, but Coraline is another really good adaptation that actually like was true to the original. Like that was really well done. Just something about stop motion that just works really good for when you're doing like eerie stories. I'm surprised like, well, I mean, it's very expensive, so I guess that's why so many people don't use it, but it really does work well. This is why it's a shame it doesn't get used more. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if the new if Leica's released any new trailers yet. I haven't seen anything lately. But like, their movies are always so much fun. I just love this guy. He's such a little jerk. I usually don't make characters like this, so it's so much fun when I do let myself just make like a little like stinker. Oops. I'm gonna step away from this for a second because it's really coming along good, but I don't want to overdo it because then it will become muddy. Ironically, even though it's supposed to be, I don't want it to be color wise muddy. I want everything to be muddy, and. So let's save it, and we'll do some work on my turnaround. I do want to play around with this today. Yeah. Just trying to figure out, play around with his horns a little bit. I mean antlers, because I just want to think how they move, or if there's rules to how they move or something, or I don't know. Because I am at that point where I'm like trying to decide if I want to change them or keep them the same. going to leave some details off so I can actually show the horn, the antlers. Because usually they go like this. And the kind of, maybe I'll just tighten it up a little bit so they're more like that, and then like that. Is what I'm thinking about doing with them, so that he kind of has like them in front of him a little bit. Kind of more dragon-like. Like they're actually like horns on a dragon, like a mixture of Eastern and Western dragon, kind of. Like a much more aggressive version. Yeah, something kind of like that maybe. Might be kind of cool. Or like they're like encase his face so that he can kind of. Oops. Give it a shot. Hopefully this doesn't make it impossible to do with the rig. But we'll see. This might be a 2.0 update. I'll see. If I can do it, great. If I can't, then I'm just going to leave it as a 2.0 update. No. No. I might make. Do. Maybe like that? I don't know. It's just a thought. Because I can also do like things like, because originally it would have been more like, I mean, you see in the other drawings down here where it's like that. So. Where they kind of just come off and go off and then off onto the side. But I'm not sure if I like that because that kind of doesn't do much. I might keep them shorter like that if I'm gonna do this version, just so they're not like, so they're still closer in. perspective is what's messing with me with this. Where it's like, I really want to make it a little more sense. If I keep them lower, then maybe that. I could also like kind of. Nah, not that much. Maybe. I don't know. I need to work on this a little bit tonight. So, probably call it around here. This is a good spot to call it, actually. So, I made some really good progress on that other one, though. Like, I mean, I knew I was going to try and do this, but this is a little more tricky to play around with because this is like a long-term project kind of thing for the next upgrade to him. So, but this is fun. I'm so happy with how this game came out so far, at least. Even like it's just so fun and goofy, like a derpy little troublemaker. Even making its eye bug out of its head a little bit like that is, I think, helps a little bit more too. Scrungy, I love that. Scrungy. Yes, that's perfect. Where's the scrungiest scrunch? And then they got a dirty, messy look to them. I love it. Oops. Oh well. Yeah. Appreciate you. Glad I got to make some progress on this, and I'm so happy I did this one because I almost did a different list, but this one came out so good that I will still do that other prompt so, because I think I know a good fairy for that one too, but I wanted to do a goofy one tonight, and I can think of a pretty scary one for so, because there's like this like spider. There's a couple spider based fairies that I could use for that. Like one that hides in like rivers and in waterfalls. I forget what that one was called, but this is more fun. This is just like a goofy little goober. So yeah, I'll probably finish them up. I'll try and finish them up by Friday, or at least get them to the point where like this other one is, so I can get them to like where these two are, because I do like how this one's come out so far. Like this one really just needs maybe like one more cleanup, but I think it's pretty good for what it is, considering this is all just an art challenge. So yeah. But he's so much fun. He's like, yeah. He just knocks his friend right into the water. But yeah, thanks again for dropping by, everyone. I'll be back again on Friday where we can finish this up and work on that. Maybe I'll do that sewing one on Friday. Make it my spooky drawing session. Because I'll have to look into that one. Maybe it's not as scary as I remember. I think it's one of those fairies where like it can be scary, but it's kind of, it just depends on the story. And there are stories where bad things happen, but there's ones where nothing happens too. So I think it just varies. But yeah, hope everyone has a good rest of your week. And yeah.